Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Pete, you're watching PJ Cooper the Multiple, and thank you very much for joining me again. Yes, it's been only a week since I've got the new issue. Number 10 is here. And this build is getting along, and we'll be having a rolling chassis at the end. We're putting on the leaf springs and the tires and a lot of little hoses to put on. And then we've got a rolling chassis, and it's a big rolling chassis. And you can see that on this camera right here. Right, this is it. It's massive, isn't it? It's pretty darn big. So as you can see, I prepared everything. It's all in plastic still. It's the best way to keep it so you know everything is there. I love doing this. As I said, I've changed my my delivery schedule to weekly, so I can get this done a little bit more quickly. I pay per 12 shipments, so that normally is a prepaid year plan, but it's 12 shipments. It's not a year plan, it's a 12 shipment plan. But I really want to get on to this. I really want to go and do this build. So let's let me show you the magazine and let's start this build. Okay, issue number 10 here. Leaf springs for the left hand side. I think it's the left hand side. It's not actually showing here. It's just leaf springs, front shackle, outer shackle, inner shackle. Then the wheel and a lot of hoses to put on, another leaf spring, and it's still not showing whether it's left or right, and the last wheel. So we have that on the... Is it actually showing whether it's not? This is the left. Oh, it is the left, as you can see right there. I did not read the upper. Yep, the left rear leaf suspension and so on. So let's get straight to it, and you'll see the pictures on screen as well. So we're going to start with that, and it's not clearly visible, but there's a longer and a shorter side. In the picture it's not really properly visible, but what you can do is have a look at that. There's a short one here, so this part here is short and that's the longer one, and with the one on the shorter side we are putting that one on, and on the longer side we'll be putting those two on. By the way, it's all metal. So we're going to start with 2 LMs, and we are going to get that oil close as well. So that's an LM screw, and with those 2 LM screws we're going to screw that little thing in, and on the other side we'll be using 1 PM screw. So we're screwing on the LO side. We're screwing in on the LO side, which is the PM screw. So that is what it looks like. Have a look again with that orientation, with the longer. So this is the top, with the longer part here of the second leaf spring metal. We have the 2 metal loose ones with the PM screw, and on the shorter side, look at that, we have that one with the 2 LMs in there. So we're going to get the rear axle in, and if it's looking like that, we're going to put this one on this side. Then we're going to put that bracket on. Yep, like so. There are 2 lug holes, and it says left here. Put it in like that, and we put an NM screw in there. That's in. So we put that to the side, and we're going to make this shock absorber. Okay, we have the shock absorber housing here. Then the leaf the spring in there, then that thing in there, and make sure you have that screw hole there so we can screw it into like there, and we use a BM screw for that. That's fine. And we're going to get a QM out. That's this one, because we're going to put that on to the chassis. Oh, finally. Okay, there's a little trick in there. You need to pre-drill it before you put it in. Otherwise you have a lot of problems like I just had. And we're going to put these aside a bit because we need the whole chassis in here. And let's see. So what the best thing to do is what I just did is put it in and put that what is it, a cross member or that little thing that we put in quite some time ago. Put that in straight away and it will go just fine. Okay, they want us to put that in. Then we need to put an RM in there, and the RM I think goes on this side, but on the other side of the chassis. Then we put that in. We put this one in. That could have done. It would have been better if we'd done that the other way around before putting that in, but it's in, and that's in. Then we're going to put a CM in that one. There we go. And then we're putting a PM from this side in. Okay, so the non-screw side, or the side that doesn't screw in but just falls through, should be on that side, and this is on the inside. That little bracket is the bracket that that you screw into. So we need to have a look when we do the other one that the orientation is properly. That screw panel or that screw bracket should be on the inside of it. But you learn from this one to not make the mistake in the next one. The only last thing we do is two little things. One is that bracket, and we need the left rear. Yep. And a BM and a IP, and then we're gonna put the BM on this one, and we've got that bracket in as well. We screwed in that one. That one was a IP and a BM for that bracket right there. Okay guys, 32 is the next stage that we're doing, and let's have a quick look at this. Okay, I'm putting the Firestone on top and the valve, the air valve, at the opposite of the S. Then we're going to turn it around and we're going to put that in there. And then we're going to put 3 CMs in there. So we're going to put that aside. So we're going to take this one here. I marked it left to make sure. That's the middle one. I'm going to put those hoses on. As you saw, I warmed them up with my hands a little bit. Makes them easier to put them on. There you go. Okay, one goes on this side and the other one goes on this side. So right there and there. An H and an F. Okay, those two hoses are in. Then we put that little tiny little thing in here with a GM in there. Okay, they were posted as two different, but they're the same because they're going from this side, what I'm putting on now, to the other side exactly. And they said it was a shorter one in top and then a longer one on the bottom. They need to reach all the way to the other side. So that one did not reach. So I put a different one in. So we put those pipes in all the way, two of the same size from one side to the other. It will go to the other leaf spring exactly as it is here, but we are now going to put that wheel on, put an LM in there and over tighten it, and we will go on the next day. I did miss something. There we go. Yep. All right, that's that for that stage. We're going to 33. Okay, now let's put the chassis on its wheels. And with that, we have a rolling chassis. These wheels are too tight. Well, guys, that was that. That's stage number of issue number 10 of the Ecto. These stages, so copies straight away. Although in that one we've got some extra hoses to put in, and it's a massive one. So no more to do. It's a rolling chassis now as well. It's the only thing I did not put in those, but I'm gonna keep those safe somewhere. But I don't know where I can put this because it's a massive chassis. It's a massive chassis. It's I think was it 80 centimeters? I don't have the poster here. I don't have a poster here, but I think it was 80 centimeters. And really nice. Slightly fiddly. I had to close it down on stage number 33. was it 33? I think it was. Because it wasn't going as planned, but I stopped it because you saw it in 32 already. It was a copy of 31, sorry. Yeah, it was a copy of 31, so showing you everything everything as again and again is not very nice. So it's okay. A really nice build. It's coming together properly. It's all in its right position. That tip I got from the Jaguar, you know, if you're screwing a part that has more than one screw to screw the part in, screwing in loosely first before you tighten it all the way. So start with the first screw, screw it in lightly, do that with the other screws as well, crossed, so from one side to the other, to the other, to the other. Then if every screw is in there and aligned properly and the part is aligned properly, then you tighten it. And that has helped me a lot in everything. As well as the tip to put a little bit of oil on the screws that are going into metal. It helps a lot because some of these, and especially the shock absorber on this one, was hard to do because there's a lot of paint in there. And it was not going all the way in, and I tried it with the first one in stage 31, but it was not working. So this time I screwed it first, then screwed it in, although that was hard as well. Then it worked so much better. So that might be something for you to do as well. Screw some of the parts that you think may give you a problem, and it helps a lot. But with that, we're at the end of issue number 10. Stages 31, 32, 33 and 34 are completely done. And I've not had my Friday shipment email yet. Well, Friday was the 24th, and in Germany they do celebrate the 24th, so they might have been closed already. So Monday might be the day that I'm getting my shipment email. But for this, I want to say thank you very much for joining me again. Thank you very much for sticking out all the way to the end. And I hope you had a really nice Christmas, and I hope you have a very nice New Year. And I hope to see you on many of my other builds that I do. Please like, subscribe and pass it on, and hope to see you next time. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.